Hello everybody and welcome. I am the Beta Plan and this is of course Vampyr. And it is time that we talk to a few people. I know that the game says that I need to talk to this dude, but I am more interested in this man in the back here who is clearly aged and I wonder if he is a vampire at all. By the way, off camera these two gentlemen, and I say that, I use that term lightly, we're talking about that foreigners that come into town. Foreign vampires and Vulkats, and they were very angry for being attacked and they did not even speak English. And that they should hunt them down. Right. Anyways, forgive me if I'm going to be a little bit rusty over here. It's been a while since I've played and made the last recordings, but let's get into it.
Good evening, Dr. Reed. How does it feel to be this evening's centerpiece? Figuratively.
It's quite unsettling. As a doctor, I am more used to being the observer than the subject observed.
Do not be alarmed. The Ascalon Club has a tried and tested policy for choosing its initiates.
May I ask who you are, sir?
Why would you be interested?
Well, as you seem to be the only man in the room with a beating heart, you draw quite a bit of attention yourself.
Ah, vampire senses never cease to fascinate me. They dwarf those of mere mortals. I am Aloysius Dawson, by the way.
By the way, I didn't need to even see that. I didn't even use my vampire senses, but he's the only old man in the whole club. That is already interesting enough on its own, I would say.
Are you a member of the club?
Yes, I am. And I have been for many years. And will be until the day I die.
What can you tell me about it?
It's not really my place to give you such information. I am merely a mortal member, and a dying one at that.
Are you sick?
Personally, I consider my advancing years are a sickness in itself. My body is slowly abandoning me, Dr. Reed.
Are you not afraid? You are surrounded by vampires.
Sir, it's for that very reason that I joined the club in the first place.
Is not the nature of this club a secret, shared by only a privileged few?
My dear Dr. Reed, I have spent years and a fortune precisely to gather that kind of information.
So you asked for membership?
I have been a member of many clubs in many countries. But I must admit, this one is my favorite.
It still doesn't say a darn thing in actuality.
What can you tell me about Lord Redgrave?
I would not dare speak of our chairman without his consent.
Mr. Dawson, of Dawson and Dawson, the wealthiest man in England. It is a pleasure to meet such a prominent figure of London.
A withering London figurehead, to be precise.
Are you sick, Mr. Dawson? I am a doctor, you know.
My case is beyond the scope of traditional medicine. I have spent fortunes on the world's most competent doctors to arrive at that diagnostic conclusion.
I'm sorry to hear that, sir. Should I suppose that you're here in search of some form of immortality?
Absolutely not. I'm here to implement my plan to save the city I was born in. To cast out the ghastly evil that has us all on our knees.
Which would be...
What do you know about the Guard of Priwen?
I should not say this, but I admire their commitment. This is what the nation needs right now.
Would you help them?
No. There is a time for such methods. But brute force will not be enough to fight this plague. We have to think differently.
What is the situation like in this part of town?
I am sure Lord Redgrave will enlighten you more effectively than I.
Money cannot solve every problem. This mysterious epidemic is going to require more than money can buy.
You're right. Money is nothing unless one has the will to wield it. I have a plan, sir. A radical one that will save all that is essential in London.
What is your plan, then?
Quarantine and barricades are futile. What we need is a wall. A formidable, unscalable wall to isolate the deserving from the infected masses.
I don't want to say it's unfair, which I do, but it's not the exact answer I would give. Nor would I say it's efficient, because it's absolutely, completely bonkers to do such a thing. Disease does not care for a high wall. It is dangerous. I don't even know what I would say in that case. But I'm just gonna go with this, because this answer is sure to annoy this person. This is totally not true.
By doing so, you would create two separate ghettos. What if the disease gets past the wall? The results would be disastrous.
Not if we eliminate all suspected cases of infection as soon as they appear. A necessary sacrifice.
Are you not mistaking sacrifice for summary execution?
Why do you care? Are you not a vampire? Removed from all mortal concerns? Decisiveness is what the city needs, and it needs it now.
Okay, you are insane. That's just what I'm going to say about you. Well, let's do as the game requests.
That went well, did it not? It is always useful to bolster the troops' morale, especially before a difficult battle.
You have the makings of a general, my lord.
I was, though very long ago, well, not quite a general, but a proud defender of the crown.
So why did you really want to meet me?
Straight to the point again, young Ekon. All right, let's talk, you and I, Lance Sparrow.
I'm listening, my lord.
According to my spies, you have worked with Dr. Edgar Swansea on the epidemic, and your findings were quite alarming.
Is it me, or is it noticeable that beneath that black scarf, before his blouse begins, there's a skin color there that almost looks like it has an incredible bad rash? I wonder if this is purpose, or if something is going wrong with my computer settings, or well, there's something else going on here. It's at least noticeable. Let me put it that way.
Do you know Edgar Swansea?
Not personally, but I've been told he has some sort of immortal fetish and is a good friend of yours.
Does it bother you that I consider him my good friend?
As long as you reveal nothing of the club's inner workings, why should I forbid you engaging in conversation with the good Dr. Swansea?
You were spying on me.
Not personally. I rarely leave this building. But once he found you, Fergal kept me informed. Until you put an end to his mission.
Who was Fergal? I don't see him sipping tea with the others in the club.
Fergal Banshire was my squire of sorts. Even before becoming that magnificent beast, he was a brute. He served me well for decades.
No, I mean, what was he? He was clearly no ordinary vampire.
No, he was a Volcod. All muscles and instinct. Quite the rare breed. Ferociously territorial. Mortals often mistake them for werewolves.
Excuse me? Volcod, by my knowledge, wasn't that the guy I fought within the sewers? I have seen much more lupine vampire-like than Volcod, which one would mistake for a werewolf. I am quite at odds here.
You do know I killed him.
Yes.
Will you bear ill will towards me for his death?
Of course not. Your victory was quite impressive and courageous. You earned my respect.
Right.
Yes, I'm convinced the recent invasion of frenzied skulls in London is directly linked to the epidemic. This is not the Spanish flu, but something else.
I would be glad to hear more of your discoveries, Dr. Reed, but for now, my main concern is the security of London's inhabitants, both mortal and immortal.
What do you mean?
Alarmed by the epidemic, the Guard of Prewen has started a war against us British vampires. To appease the situation, we must eradicate the skulls.
Oh, I want to say this, but the one skull that I found to be peaceful kind of went berserk. Because of my decisions, I have to admit, which... So one of you notified them that it was depressing to look at that video, and yes, it kind of was. But I guess I'm going to say this then to... I mean, if I say this, he's going to go, poppycock, or something like that. So I'm going to go with this one.
Skulls are hostile vectors of contagion. That is a fact. But first and foremost, they are victims.
I agree, Dr. Reed. Most of the new skulls who roam the streets at night used to be good British citizens, but they must be put down nevertheless.
So, what do you want me to do?
I want you to investigate the city thoroughly. I have reason to fear there are cases of contagion in this part of town. Our absolute priority is to find and cleanse them.
And how would you like me to proceed?
By all means necessary, Dr. Reed. You are now a member of the Ascalon Club and you have carte blanche. Interrogate the locals, follow all the leads you find, and get results.
I see. Carte blanche is most of the time used by nefarious individuals who say, "We got your ass covered, boy." Well, oh, you know what? I should check. Hold on just one little second. He is considered the pillar of the community. Interesting. Interesting indeed. Okay, but he isn't ill, so I need not give him medication. You really should clean this up. I'm just saying. It looks like a mess. No, it doesn't look like it. It is a mess. Slightly different, but an important distinction nonetheless. Well, this episode, people, if you're not interested in meeting the people of the district and you're more into the combat system, by all means, you can go. Because now it's my time to meet everybody in the West End.
I think Lord Redgrave just suggested I was sired by an ancient vampire.
Support the equality between men and women.
You we already talked to. But,
Women die too in this war.
hello.
I'm hungry. Where shall I eat tonight?
I don't know.
Good evening, sir. Please forgive me for disturbing you. I'm a doctor.
I never judge a man by his title, but by his attitude. And you are not disturbing me at all. I am Calhoun Russell, and I welcome you.
Well, I must admit it's good to receive a warm welcome for once. I'm Jonathan Reed.
Welcome, Dr. Reed. Welcome to my humble shop.
Humble with that attire? Interesting.
Do you have any family nearby?
Not since my parents died. I'm London's lone gourmet.
London's lone gourmet. What a strange title.
I used that name in my early years when I was a food critic, and I kept it.
Really? But you seem to be such a pleasant and sociable fellow.
I'm afraid the real hedonist has to be sometimes. I discovered ecstasy as a solitary pleasure, but it does not mean it can't ever be shared.
The music, his attitude, his words. Somehow this guy makes me go, something's wrong here.
How is the situation in this part of town?
Life is good and peaceful. We're lucky to live in such an era of progress and wonders.
Are you not concerned about the epidemic?
Oh, I'm sure the authorities would take the appropriate measure if the danger were that high.
I'm afraid the newspapers are seriously underestimating the situation. Things are critical, believe me.
Well, that's news then. But I can't believe that things are that bad. Are you sure you're not exaggerating a bit? For the thrill of it?
It's good that I chose this one then, if he's saying that.
Is it not a little too late to be trading?
On the contrary, it is the perfect hour. Believe me, my friend, it is always at night that you meet the most fascinating characters.
Sure.
So you prefer to work at night?
Oh, I also enjoy a sunny day like everybody else. But the night always has a certain je ne sais
C'est
quoi
quoi?
of its own.
Yeah, I knew he was going to say that sentence as soon as I saw the word je.
But what about the epidemic? The bombs and raids? And all the random violence?
Please, sir, this is London, England. We will prevail. And if a bomb must fall on my shop, then I'll be there to hear it falling.
Did bombs drop on London in the First World War as well? I'm not so sure that happened. But I have to admit, my knowledge on the First World War is rather shady at times. Which is kind of bad. I feel kind of bad about that.
What can you tell me about this place?
I recently found the best steak and kidney pie in the city. I'd be glad to share the address if you want.
Finding a good restaurant? Is that really all that interests you?
Oh, I have many passions, but nothing brings me ecstasy like subtle and exquisite flavors from my teeth to my belly.
I must confess, I have quite specific tastes when it comes to nutrition.
Really? Well, I'm always happy to try new exotic meals. If you ever find an intriguing table, please share the address.
A surprise for London's local man, a new investigation. Okay.
I'm investigating the source of the epidemic in this district. Have you noticed anything unusual?
Not really. Wait, now that you mention it, I don't see the McPhersons in my favorite restaurants. They love delicate meals too, you understand?
Thank you. It may be nothing, but I'll investigate anyway. Where do they live?
They have a house in the southern part of the district, somewhere north of the railway bridge. There is a courtyard, if I remember rightly.
I may have a look at your goods, Mr. Russell.
Ah, tiny good handle and good trigger part. This is a shop that I'll need to remember. I know that I need some of those items for upgrades to my items, but... Hello?
Remember, don't let any strangers come into your house.
Then why you're trying to
Good
knock
evening,
on it?
old chap. Are you all right?
I won't lie to you, Johnny. I'm not a well man.
You need some rest, Clarence. You should try to sleep.
You know what? I can't ask him for
Good
information.
evening, old chap.
I won't.
I'm investigating the source of the epidemic in this district. Can you help me?
Infection is everywhere these days. If you ever go to the park near that swanky house belonging to the Mullaneys,
Yes? What about the Mullaneys? What about their house?
not enough noise for a big family with children. Not enough movement. Closed doors. What is going on in there? I wonder.
Alright.
You need some rest, Clarence. You should try to sleep.
Yeah, because I did give you medication. I am very certain of that. It's a god of
Why
pre-win.
are vampire hunters sniffing around here? I need to find out what they're after.
$35 meters that away. Okay, that is a little annoying that I can't get to there. This is the back end of the Escalon Club, I know that. Oh, we found a dungeon, so to speak. some random tidbit of information, or is this actually part of the investigation? Embankment sewers district state is serious. That is interesting, to say the least. Sorry, I'm trying to figure out again some of my powers. The myth of the horned vampire. You know what? I'm giving you time to read it. Hopefully I'm going through it slow enough. But I'm not going to read the whole thing, because this is a long piece of text. From drinking of the fountain of knowledge. Yeah, this is a long piece of text. So once again, for your own leisure. You know what? I'm going to do this little part. 12 dreams for the Red Queen under crown of stone, that she may linger longer with eyes kept closed. 11 thorns blooming from the troubled brow, awaiting the next harvest to be gleaned at brisk springs. 10 copper veins ripped from the belly of the earth, melted into tears, flowing towards banished brothers. 9 glorious pyres on the scorched plain, to punish those whose hands were slow to obey. 8 ferocious beasts, born from 8 restless nights, their backs hardened by their race with the sun. 7 notes of warning in the summer sky, compelling child to shielded sheets of sleep. 6 watchers bent on the hunting trails, shadows of their spears traced the tired furrows. 5 houses to fall before song's end, then 5 more reborn from their blackened ashes. 4 nails piercing the flesh of the sinner, restless, hung to the dark wood of his crimes. 3 books scribbled by pen of the dancer, who refuses to answer the call of the abyss. 2 giant rival snakes slither in ageless forests. Oh, in ageless forest. Coiled to the bones of mortals destined for the grave. 1 prayer for the summoned called by this song, child born from darkness, whose path he must find. That last actually may be referring to something that I underwent, but for the rest of it, I don't know what that is, other than a weird version of 12 Days of Christmas. I got nothing out of that. That is the first box I've ever opened in this game that has a symbol like, hey, you can open it, and nothing comes out of it. And have I gone too early into the sewers? Is this normally supposed to be populated with enemies? That's very, very old blood, because my vampire senses don't even pick it up.
It's locked.
Which is rather interesting. Do I pick up this drill? No. So there's blood around here, but my vampire senses don't pick it up. And I can't jump to that side, which is what I try to attempt now. Is this not where I thought... This is where I fought the Fool God. This is a direct link to the Skull Sewers. I know exactly where this is at. And that's the bridge I walked over. I now know exactly where we are. Okay. However, no Linky. Nothing to do right here, right now. So, I guess we're gonna go back up. I mean, it's a cool little tidbit bit of information that we found. But, other than that, This is a strange place. I don't know how, but I missed all the random pieces of shilling as I came through this area. Well. Time to get back to the surface, I guess. But at least now we know how our Vulkot nemesis came to the area of the Skull Sewers, that is. So there's a link there beneath the London, which is not unsurprising that the sewers are connected. That's kind of what they're supposed to be.
It's locked, all right.
Alright, can't enter that. As you will. So I guess I am forced to fight another few vampire hunters if I want to get to that home here. Because I probably have to go for here and then go to the left. Can I cue the guy? Just trying to look who else is here. Yeah, I understand. I don't want to queue him. I want to queue the other guy. Game, I want to queue him. Thank you. So they can merely use this on it. He did not die. Ow. Oh, that is just dumb. And now I can't queue, because when I queue, I look at the freaking wall. Some things in this game. I would love to fight you, but I'm not gonna fight you in a closed encountered space when I don't need to. That hit me way harder than it should have. And I can't even use my abilities in this area. It even goes away. Just really. Ow. The power of the Lord is not going to be enough. Goodbye. That was a weird fight. Just plain old weird. Just, I would like to fight you, but I cannot fight you beyond this little gate. I mean, sometimes that can be used for proper, like, I shouldn't say properly. You can use it as a trick.
This is no place for you, sir.
Yeah, may be no place for me, but it's gonna be the place I choose to be. Oh, I'm stuck. I'm stuck. And let's just finish this. You resisted. You resisted what? Your death? Right. Okie dokie. No, I thought for a moment that it was a trash can I could look into. Because despite the fact that I'm a doctor... Ow. Okay, this is just embarrassing now. Thank you. I am still looking trash cans. Thank you very much. Okay, that was just plain old embarrassing. I will give that in, and I apologize for my absolutely bad, appalling combat ability there. But that is probably me being a little rusty with the game. Alright, was just checking this out. We are 29 minutes in. I think I'm going to continue just a little bit more. I mean, it feels a little bit like we've done nothing. Okay, that's a really odd way to get into a house. Rich blood sample. Interesting. This is a rich family. Oh! She's not a vampire.
This woman's body has multiple lacerations. They're deep, too. Whoever did this was driven by rage.
Yeah, perhaps somebody who thought they were a vampire while they weren't. There we go. It's just a suggestion of mine. This is a... This place is really, really rich. Royal Garden Hall. This is a new one. I don't think I've seen that poster before. Just looking around to see if I don't miss anything shiny. So, what's on the bed here? It's just a hat. There's nothing like blood or anything that would further my investigation. This man has been killed.
He had his tongue removed and his eyes gouged out. He was a victim of brutal torture.
What people don't do for belief. Whether it's faith or just a fanatic... Well, I should say, whether it's religion or some fanatic believe in something, and in this case that they might be vampires. At least that's what I'm going to say that
This
this
one's
is.
neck is broken. He was young. Probably the son.
His neck even looks weird. Something tells me we're gonna get into a big fight. I hope I'm ready for it after all this time.
You thought I was dead too, didn't you? No, I was just pretending. Doris told me I could have been a great actress.
You killed your family.
They mocked my talent.
Okay then, I told you we were going to get into a fight. Ooh, that really, really hurt. That hurt so much. I am dead already. Wow, just one attack of her killed me. Just one attack. Okay. That's just... Wow. Okay, one attack just kills me. I don't have enough blood to fight her anyways. So... I'm gonna leave. I seriously need to be a little bit more back into this game and know my combat strategies in order to utterly avoid that combat. Ow. Gotta move back. Because I need... Oh my god, come on. What the heck? Oh, I'm stuck on this tree again. Oh great, now this has happened again. So I'm going to have to end the episode here anyways, because I'm once again stuck in the environment. You can see that they are not attacking anyway. It happens quite often with this guy. I'm a little annoyed by it for sure. I mean, I can do this and kill this guy, but it won't aid me anything. So I'm gonna go back out, and I'll come back in the next episode. I'm sorry, but this is not just me. This is really a bug in the game that has happened more often than I like to admit. I say thank you for watching, and remember, great peril yields great beauty.